welcome to the second edition of Mark's Inspirational Wisdom. Someone asked me to talk today about women, but I think I will mix it up between girls, women, whatever you like to call them, ladies. I will mix it up between that and the questions when I was younger. I have children aged 19 and under, 6 kids, 5 boys and 1 girl. The youngest is 11 years old. Now, they can talk to me about almost anything. Well, actually, they can talk to me about anything. When I was growing up, both of my parents were in the household. Now, in my case here, it's just me. Their mother left probably 9 years ago, and I have been raising them ever since. But it's a very open communication here, and we talk about many things. But when I was growing up, I had both mom and dad in the household. My mom worked second shift. My father worked at Boeing, I think it's called now, and my mother worked for Monsanto. Now, I never had anybody to talk to. I grew up with a lot of fear because in my time there was the Russians had the missiles aimed at the United States, and I just knew that the world was going to blow up and that was going to be the end of it. So until I was even 21, I was still thinking that what is the point of having any goals, because we're going to go to hell anyway. The earth's going to be blown up and that's going to be the end. Well, here I am, 59 years old, and guess what? It hasn't gone yet. Not to say that it won't tomorrow, but probably not. So that's what I try to reassure my children, because many times they hear this is the end of the world, that's going to happen, or even now the coronavirus is like the end. Some people are saying that's it. I don't believe it is, and I try to reassure my children that they will probably live longer than I have now. So, but the point I'm going to bring up is I didn't have anyone to ask questions, and I know there are many of you who had the similar situation. I didn't start learning anything about life till I was about 31 years old. I probably would have had I had someone to talk to, but I had no one to talk to about girls, about life, relationships, how to get along with people. Now, I'm not bashing school. I did learn how to read, write, and add and subtract. But as far as living life on life's terms and how to deal with the various situations in life, who teaches you that? No one, unless you have a mentor, which is pretty rare. Even now, for me to find a mentor has been difficult, but I do have one. So I will address some of the questions I had when growing up. For example, how do I go up and talk to a girl? How do you do that? I mean, first off, you have low self-esteem, because unless you grew up in a household where they were constantly praising you and telling you how much they loved you and telling you that you can do anything and you're powerful and you're capable and you can do whatever you dream, you probably grew up feeling like less than or not good enough, as I did. But when I discovered drugs and alcohol, that gave me everything that I couldn't do for myself. But as many of you know, and some of you are yet to find out, that is a false power that eventually gives out on you. For a long time, it will dull the hurt and the pain and the emotions and allow you to push them down and be someone who you are really not. And if anyone does fall in love with you, they don't fall in love with who you are, but who you present yourself to be, which is not really you. But that worked for me. So when I discovered that, I could talk to girls, I could dance, I could kiss girls, I could sing, I could do whatever, because I didn't care what people thought. Now, when I wasn't drinking, I did care. I wanted everyone to like me. And that is really a fault in itself. It doesn't really matter what anyone thinks of you, but it does matter what you think of yourself. Now, that's exactly the opposite of what I learned somewhere growing up. I thought I was supposed to present this character to people that do what people wanted me to do, to be liked, to be accepted, because all through school I have the teachers telling me, which are mostly women, that you need to act this way, you need to do this, you need to get these good grades to be the kind of person that is considered to be a good person. Well, that has nothing to do with being a good person, but it has everything to do with seeking approval from other people instead of looking for the approval within yourself. Because when you approve of yourself, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. The important thing is how you feel about yourself. We all have our own moral compass. We know what's right and wrong for us. The carpenter even said, what is a sin or character defect or a mistake for one person may not be for another person. Everyone has their own moral compass of what's right, what's wrong, good, bad. Sometimes I don't even like to use the terms, especially with good and bad, because how many times in my life have I thought something was terrible, but then in retrospect, as I looked back, found out it was the best thing that happened to me. It was exactly what I needed at the time to move me toward what I wanted to become. Because I can't see the big picture. So that's what helps me to believe that there's a force, a power, God if you like, that can see things, the future, the past, the present, better than I can. And when things aren't going my way, for example, when I ask a certain girl out and she doesn't want anything to do with me, or I'm dating someone who I'm really in love with and all of a sudden she is disinterested and doesn't treat me well, doesn't return my calls, seems to not care about me, I can know that even though I don't like the way I feel, that this is what is best for me. I have been married 4 times. Now, do you say I've had 4 failed marriages? You could say that, but I have learned so much from that. Now, many of those years that I was married, I had success. Things were going well, but nothing lasts forever. Now, you can judge a person by his failures better than you can by his successes by asking him or her, what did you learn from that? I've learned much more from my failures than I ever did from my successes. It's great to succeed, it's great to feel like you're accomplishing something, but you don't look for answers when you're succeeding as badly as you do when you feel as though you failed. But you actually don't fail. You only fail if you quit and give up. You get back up and you start again. It reminds me of one time I fought this left-handed guy. I was a former amateur and a professional boxer, and I fought this left-handed guy. So I walked out there. The first flurry of punches, the guy knocks me down. And I'm like, so I get back up, but I won the fight. Now, I would like to tell you every time I got knocked down that I got back up and won, but that's not the case. Sometimes I got back up and I got knocked down again. But I kept getting back up and I didn't give up. And I'm telling you now that if you don't give up and you keep getting back up and you keep moving forward, you will accomplish what you want to accomplish in life. The power is within you. Don't give up on yourself. The answers are within you. All you need is someone to reflect them back to you. Find someone who will listen to you without judgment. And the internet, on YouTube, there are many, many, many wise people talking on there, and it's all free. You know, in that big black book that we use here in our churches, it says, walk with wise men, and you too shall become wise. We have wise men to listen to on YouTube for free because it is difficult sometimes to find them in our own community. They are there, but difficult to find. But all you have to do is turn on your computer or your phone and look for them. And you can learn what you need to learn. You can learn the most valuable things that you can't learn in school, that they don't teach you in school. Things that will help you succeed in life, whatever success is to you. And as I said on my last edition, wealth and prosperity. The root of those 2 words have nothing to do with money, but a lot to do with how you feel about yourself inside. A truly wealthy person feels wealthy, regardless of if he has money or not. You can take the money away from the millionaire, but you can't take the millionaire away from the money. And you can take the poor person out of the poverty, but you can't take the poverty out of the poor person. Only you can do that. Only the person themselves can do that. So anyway, I hope this has been of value to you. I will have a website coming soon. Thank you for joining me, and have a great day.